Hey, this is Carl with New Septic. I'm going to go ahead and check out a as-built drawing here for a customer, and I'm going to recreate that with the software. So I can see that we have the property here. So I'm going to either log in or click go to my projects, depending on if you're already previously logged in to landplan.io. But I'm going to create a project here by clicking on that, and you have a few different ways to create a project here. Um, we have mostly complete documentation on all our tools. If you click on your account menu here, you can go to Essential Links, and if you right click over the documentation, open it in a new tab. The software works best in Google Chrome, but you can see we have a lot of documentation on all our tools here on the left, so you can scroll that. But if I want to open that again, I can open that, create a new project window, and since we have an address here, I can just search by that address. So 6110 Southwest Prosperity Park. 6110 Southwest Prosperity Park. And we should get some results down here. So it looks like we have a result. Use the top one, Google, preferably. So click on that, and what we'll do is try and find that location in our parcel database. So you can click on this, select that, and here's where you could change anything you want with the property, the parcel ID, the owner name, or you could shorten this up to remove like the state if you wanted to do that. So click next, do a septic design, and we have some basic information here for flow rate. You can change this if you want, and we will these are limiting conditions in the soil. You can, since we're just doing an as-built drawing, we'll just keep those like that. So here we have the parcel, and we load up a few layers here for you on the left-hand side. And you can read more about that in our documentation. We have our map layers here on how to turn those off, and if you right click over them, you can have more features, properties that you can set. So here I can see there's a building here, and for this purpose, we can just recreate this one. So I'm seeing some dimensions here, the building and elevations, and I'm not seeing really property lines at all. But so depending on the GIS data that we have, this is all publicly available data. So this may or may not be exactly accurate, but you can take the measure tool, click on that, and you can measure the distances here. And we have a concept called snapping that you can set by clicking on your snap tool options. You can pick what the feature you're drawing currently with because this says the layers that the measure length would snap to. You can set those and save that. But yeah, you can add some measurements here to the parcel just to kind of make sure that those parcel lengths are accurate. But you can use the multi-select tool and drag a box around these, and you can hit the delete key on your keyboard or the delete here, and that will remove those if you don't want those there. So that is kind of like an intro on a couple of the tools. The edit tools are how you interact with the features you draw. And we should have a few aerial photos here available. Some of them might load a little slower than others. I think the Bing aerial photo is probably the quickest. So if you load that up, you should be able to get that pretty quick. And you can right click over this and reduce the visibility here. So that's an option. Or you could just turn everything off. So we have this baseline contour layer that you could also turn off if you did not want that on there, this 100-foot contours. So this is the property, and if I want to just turn off the soil test, we default a soil test right in the middle of the property. So I can get my dimension here. Let's see. So we got a proposed barn at 97 foot and 10 inches. So if I go to the drawing and I take my measure tool, if I start here, and you can hit the tab key, and that will bring up this distance and azimuth. So if you click on decimal degrees and click in here to focus on the distance part, you could do 97.83 feet. So this is in feet, and then you can tab over and you hit the tab key to tab through this, and shift and tab to go back. So tab goes forward, hold shift and tab goes back, tab forward, shift back. So you could type the azimuth like going straight down, and you could do tab over to add point and finish drawing, hit the enter key. So that will give you your dimension there. And then if we wanted to do an auxiliary building, you can click the auxiliary building tool and just generate a small barn there. So I use the snap guides, and those help to generate 90-degree angles. If we want to edit any feature, you can just pull on that. Sometimes you might accidentally start a new feature. You can click this cancel editing or hit the escape key on your keyboard. So that's kind of how you do that. But since we didn't have a dimension for this, we could, we do have a back dimension here. So we can do 170.2. So we can do measure length, and we can do tab again, make sure we're focused in this input. Then we can do 170.17. And let's just do 0 to go up. So we have our 170 point with 2 inches there, and then 79 foot over. So 79 foot. And hey, look, they built it pretty much right where it's at. So that's nice. And what you can do is, so you actually, if you had the building dimensions, you can draw that just like how I showed you. You can just start adding points and stuff like that. So you could, or you could use the snap guides and just kind of, like if you have an existing place, you can just use the snap guides to draw it like this. So this way you can make really nice 90-degree angles. Click to finish a feature. So the feature that you drew, we do have properties that are associated with it. You know, we have a flow rate of 375. We have our existing sewer exit estimated below grade. So this is pretty much a good way to get started, but you can check out more of our septic tools. Like if I want to just maybe draw where the sewer main is. So we have a 1,000-gallon tank here, and what we can do is you could do sewer main, and we could do just maybe like a 80-foot sewer main. And with the sewer main, what we do is collect elevations for the point you click on the start and the point you click at the end. So we got the start, we have 317 foot, and then at the end we got 313 foot. So it drops 5 feet from here to there, and we're estimating that the sewer exit invert at the building is 315.93 foot. So that's how that works. We calculate that for you automatically. So if you, which you can access in the report later on. So if I click on add a single tank, septic tank, it's going to look at the closest tanks in my area. Now, if we don't have a tank in our database, we can, like we don't have the weight tank series, we can definitely add that. For now, I'll just add the, that is a circular tank, sorry. I'll add this, and let's maybe try this one. Okay, we got a rectangular tank, and I'm going to move that, click the move icon. You can move it up right there. So from here we got a series of trenches that were 100 foot roughly. So what we can do is we can start here, and let's do 100 foot, and then we can generate a trench by clicking on the systems contour systems form to create a bed. So we can do standard trenches, and tab through and just use this form to set the number of trenches. So on the overhead view, let's do set the number of trenches here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 trenches. And you can set the spacing in between if you want to set them differently. So go ahead and click draw. And that should draw our trenches here. So you can then connect them all up with a distribution main. And we have a lot of documentation on all our pipe tools and what they mean and do and stuff like that. So, but let's connect to the distribute trench. Snap to, sorry, snap to that. Okay, so there's that. And if you wanted to, you could add measurements in here, stuff like that. And if you wanted to copy this to a replacement area, you just right click over top of it, distribution bed, and you go ahead and create feature and you paste it to like a replacement area would be a good one to do. So that will generate a copy of that same area, and you can edit that if you want, but I'll just move it right in place. And then if you want to edit this, you can go to replacement area, start editing, and you could just hover over the top of this. You'll see a blue dot and just pull that over. So this is kind of like a pretty accurate representation of this. And then you could go to the print view. We set the scale for you, and if you want, you can set a number of different things over here. You can do portrait, and you set the preset scale over here, and you can turn off a lot of the labels. Like if you wanted to turn off these labels here, you could turn off the distribution pipe, the distribution trench, and then distribution trench polygon. So that would turn those off. If you wanted to set the labels, you just click on the label on the map, and this would be like your tank. You could put weight 1,000-gallon tank. You could center it on the left, and you can see it's moving there. You could increase the font, do a number of different things, set the XY offset, so you can see that I'm moving this label around, and then you just want to be sure to save this, and then you can click print, and this print off your map here. Let me see. Yep. Okay. So yeah, this is the map, and just in a few seconds, I was able to recreate this, and I can show you how to generate the um, additional elevation data for this too. So that's pretty much it. I think I'll conclude this and then we'll talk some more. All right, thank you.